Hello and a warm welcome to the Selindor Turf Club for the Barrier Trials this Tuesday, the 27th of January. Just the 4 barrier trials that will be taking place today. And we have the 2 trials on track 2, trials 1 and 2, and then trials 3 and 4 will be on the sand track all over 1,000 meters. Runners and riders for trial 1 will be up on screen shortly. It's quite a big field to open up the morning here. As we have a look at the runners, Hello Hero will be ridden by Jose de Souza. Navarre will be ridden by Caden Brewer. Land Lover, Casey Lowe. Bankers Dragon will be ridden by Nickman. Pacific Fighter will now be ridden by Joe Cameruddin. So just a quick update there. Joe Cameruddin riding Pacific Fighter. Quick and Away will be ridden by Lukeman. Limitless Spear will be ridden by Fikri. And then Friendship Star will be ridden by Geordie Mallion, also a jockey change there. And the last of the runners is To Remember, which will be ridden by Esper Howden. So those are the jockey changes, as well as 1 or 2 changes to names. I believe it's Limitless Spear instead of Limitless Roar that will be trialing in Barrier Trial 1. So the runners and riders will make their way down to the start shortly, and it should commence in approximately 10 minutes' time. runners moving in for the first trial. Field of 9 runners. Navarre moves in. Hello Hero was the first one. Only the 4 barrier trials this morning. The first 2 on track 2 and the last 2 will be on the sand track. All of them over 1,000 meters. As Banker's Dragon steps forward. No racing this weekend at the Selindor Turf Club. We'll have a break as they race at the Parrot Turf Club on Sunday, and then we'll be back here next weekend for a double header for Saturday and Sunday racing next weekend. Pacific Fighter moves in. It's just over half the field left to load. Working on Quick and Away. Quick and Away moves up. 4 runners left to load. Limitless Spear, Land Lover, To Remember, and Friendship Star, the remaining runners. As Limitless Spear moves in. Friendship Star, the next one. And the last pair, Land Lover, as well as To Remember. Land Lover moves in. To Remember, the last one. To Remember moves up. 9 runners, trial 1 for the morning, sets and ready. Gates are back and away, and trialing. Starters caught them to a pretty level beginning. Land Lover was one of the quickest to respond. Navarre showing pace in between runners, now pushes forward to lead the field as they make the way towards the turn. So Navarre goes 2 lengths clear of Land Lover back in second. Pacific Fighters up on the outside in third. Towards the inside, Hello Hero in fourth. Spots the leader 4 lengths of this stage. Deep grass on the track, Friendship Star pushing forward past Quick and Away. Then further back in the field to Remember, racing just ahead of Limitless Spear, and Banker's Dragon is the back marker. Top of the straight now, 450 left to travel. Navarre out in front. Land Lover switches towards the outside for a run, joined alongside by Pacific Fighter. Hello Hero looking for a way through, battle on the inside. Towards the outside is Friendship Star running on, as well as Quick and Away, as they spread right across the track into the final 200 meters they go. Navarre out in front, hard up on the outside though. Limitless Spear quickening up best of all. Hits the front and shoots for home. Battle on the inside. Navarre trying to fight back, but it's all going to be Limitless Spear in the closing stages. Second very close. Pacific Fighter, I think, just gets up ahead of Navarre as well. There's a fast finishing Friendship Star on the outside. Battle on the inside. We had Banker's Dragon. And then further back in the field was To Remember, Land Lover. And then came Quick and Away. So a good finish to the first trial. Limitless Spear quickening up best of all, hard up on the outside under iFitry for the Siva stable. And it's very close for all the minor placings, but no questions about the winner. Limitless Spear wins by just over a length. Second place will go the way of Pacific Fighter. Third place will go to Navarre. Fourth is Mighty Close. Lean towards the inside, Bankers Dragon, just ahead of Friendship Star. Then came Hello Hero, followed by Quicken Away, Land Lover, and To Remember. Actually rounded up the field, was last of all. So just to confirm the numbers, Limitless Spear, the winner. From in second place, Pacific Fighter. Third place was Navarre. In fourth was Bankers Dragon. Fifth was Friendship Star. We'll just roll on the replay slightly. I think Hello Hero gets up for sixth, just ahead of Quicken Away back in seventh. Then came Land Lover in eighth, and To Remember was last across the line. Only about 4 lanes covered the field. As we head across to Trial 2, which will be up next, and we'll talk about the runners and riders in the next few moments. So the runners and riders for Trial 2, once again another big field here. Golden Bloom will be ridden by M. Luckman. Big Deal, or excuse me, Mr. Wind rather. So there's a change to the field. Mr. Wind has joined this field, and H. High Carl takes the ride aboard that one. So Mr. Wind, H. High Carl, Big Deal will be ridden by G. Fahan. Supermax, J. Ikram. Northern Alliance, S.U. Lim. Fortune Magic will be ridden by Joe Camarudin. Unfortunately, I'm only getting all the updates now, so you have to spare me a few moments as I quickly make changes to the field. As Fortune Magic will be ridden by Joe Camarudin. Family Delight will be ridden by W.H. Lim. Family Delight, W.H. Lim. Bankers Rising, R. Nuckman. R12 will be ridden by Caden Brewer, and 2 Million will be ridden by Oscar Chavez. So a host of changes for Barrier Trial 2. Hope that everyone has updated their sheets, as it looks like Fortune Magic has joined this trial with Joe Camarudin, and Family Delight will now be ridden by W.H. Lim, as well as Mr. Wind, who has also entered this trial. Runners moving in for the second trial of the morning. Field of 10 runners. Golden Bloom was the first one. Bid Deal about to move in. And has second thoughts on that. The second attempt, Bid Deal. Steps forward. Supermax, the next one. Northern Alliance moves in. Now for the turn of Family Delight and W.H. Lim. Bankers Rising. Net slow, 2 million. Mr. Wind. Halfway in. Now 3/4. And is fully in. Fortune Magic. And we are left with one more left to load. And that will be Artois. Artois steps in, sets and ready for the second trial for the morning. Field of 10 runners, handler moves away, flags up, gates are back and away and trialing. Drain back early on after the start was 2 million, as well as Bid Deal is at the back end of the field. Bankers Rising broke out well. Mr. Wind pushing forward into a handy position. Just on their heels is Family Delight back in third. Artois moving up around runners into fourth. 3 lengths back to Golden Bloom, racing up on the inside of Fortune Magic, who's improving around runners. 3 lengths back to Supermax, racing just ahead of Bid Deal. Then came Northern Alliance, and 2 million is the bat marker. The field is stretched out, about a dozen lengths cover them as they make the way past the 450-meter mark. It's Bankers Rising out in front with Family Delight, who's improved all the while towards the inside, and Family Delight now picks up the lead from Bankers Rising. Towards the inside is Artois, who travels well into the trial. Off the bits is Mr. Wind. He gets a few smacks down the side, and deep right is Fortune Magic. The rest of the field are hopelessly outpaced. Into the final 150 they go. And out in front it's Family Delight, who's got his nose just ahead of Bankers Rising and Artois. And that's the way it's going to stay. So Family Delight wins. Second and third gets close between Artois as well as Bankers Rising. Fortune Magic was back in fourth, just ahead of Mr. Wind. Then came 2 million, followed by Golden Bloom, Big Deal, Northern Alliance, and Supermax was last across the line. So Family Delight and W.H. Lim, after a poor performance in his last start, he's back here in the barrier trials and moved into the trial really smartly around the turn, and he wins by just about half a length at the end. Second and third's the bob of the noses, just on the line between Artois and Bankers Rising. And we'll go the way of Artois back on the inside, who gets up for second, just ahead of Bankers Rising in third. Then came Fortune Magic in fourth, followed by Mr. Wind, and it was a breakaway of a couple of lengths to 2 million, who was in sixth ahead of Golden Bloom. Then came Bid Deal, and the last pair to cross the line was Supermax as well as Northern Alliance. So just to repeat the numbers, the winner is Family Delight, second place Artois, In third was Bankers Rising. In fourth was Fortune Magic. Fifth place, Mr. Wind. In sixth was 2 Million. Seventh was Golden Bloom. In eighth was Big Deal. Ninth was Supermax. And in 10th was Northern Alliance. That completes Barrier Trial 2. The winner, Family Delight from the Ricky Choi stable. It's up to win the second trial, as the remaining trials will now be moved across to the sand track over 1,000 meters, and we'll have the runners and riders up on screen shortly for Barrier Trial 3, which should commence in the next 7 minutes. And the field is up on screen for Trial 3, and it looks like King Arthur has been removed from this trial. Orish Star will be ridden by S.U. Lim, Magic Captain Jose de Souza, Air Mobility H.I. Cal, Dancing Supremo W.H. Lim, Ramir will be ridden by I. Fikri, and Omakase will be ridden by M. Etiar. So that's the field for Trial 3. Field of 6 runners, 1,000 meters on the sand track, and they should be making their way down to the start shortly. Runners moving in for trial 3. Orish Star, the first one. This is the penultimate trial for the morning. Field of 6 runners. Magic Captain, the next one. Air Mobility. Moves in. Dancing Supremo steps up. Last 2 to load will be Ramir and Omakase. Omakase moves in. And we are set and ready. Field of 6 runners, flags up. 1,000 meters on the sand track. And they are off and trialing. If anything, Omakase was slow into stride, is at the back end of the field early on. Up in front is a good few of them trying to contest for the lead. Magic Captain, one of the early front runners. Deep Route Dancing Supremo shows pace, and in between those, Air Mobility mate to the line of 3. Down the bat straight, 4 lengths back to Ramir, racing alongside Omakase, and dropped down to last now is Orish Star, who's struggling to stay in touch with the leaders as they make their way past the 500 meter mark. And out in front, it's a leading group of 3 runners. They separate into 3 separate groups here. Out in front, Magic Captain, the leader from Air Mobility in second. Down the centre of the track is Dancing Supremo. Hard up on the outside, Omakase makes its run with Ramir. And towards the back end of the field is Orish Star. But out in front, Magic Captain now has quite a commanding lead on the rest of the field. Shoots 4 lanes clear. Hard up on the outside is Omakase, who's starting to run on, as well as Ramir. Battle on the inside, you've got Dancing Supremo. But they've all got to attach Magic Captain into the final 100 metres. And he'll win rather comfortably at the end. Wins by 3 lengths to Ramir back in second. Third place, Omakase. In fourth, I believe it was Dancing Supremo, just ahead of Orish Star, who did his best work late. And Air Mobility was last of all. So it'll be Magic Captain and Jose de Souza for the Richard Lyne stable in trial 3 this morning. Of course, it was the same combination that won the last race on Sunday with Xingjin. As Magic Captain wins by just over 2.5 lengths, close to 3 lengths at the end. Second place went the way of Ramir. Then came Omakase back in third, followed by Dancing Supremo. Then came Orish Star, and Air Mobility was last across the line. Just to confirm the numbers, Magic Captain the winner from Ramir back in second, Omakase in third, Dancing Supremo in fourth, fifth place was Orish Star, and Air Mobility was last across the line. That completes trial 3. We move across to the 4th and final trial for the morning, and the runners and riders will make their way down to the start shortly. Just a field of 5 runners for the final trial. We have an unnamed runner, which will be ridden by iFitri by Vespa. Superb Winner will be ridden by Joe Camarudin. Born to Win will be ridden by Esuzer. The Warden will be ridden by Jordan Mallion. And Dream Ma will be ridden by H. Haikal. So a few changes there for the final field. Fortune Magic as well as Mr. Wind won't be taking part. And the Warden will now be ridden by Jordan Mallion, and Dream Ma will now be ridden by H. Haikal. So that's the field for the final trial. It's a field of 5 runners, in fact, and they'll be making their way down to the start shortly. Runners moving in for the final trial. The unnamed runner by Vespa steps forward. Born to Win. Now for the turn of the Warden. Dream Ma moves in. Last load will be Superb Winner, and we'll be set for a start. Superb Winner, slowly but surely making his way to the starting stalls. Moves up and moves in. 5 runners, final trial for the morning. Handler moves away, flags up and away and trialing from the 1,000 meter mark. Starters brought them to a perfect beginning, but Superb Winner pushing forward straight through the centre to go and lead the field in the early stages. 3 lengths back the inside is the unnamed runner by Vespa and Fitri, racing by himself out there in second. Then 3 lengths back to Born to Win, racing alongside the Warden and Dream Ma. And they're the back trio racing about 7 lengths off the leaders. Are into the turn now, 600 metres left to travel, and out in front, Superb Winner looking to do it all the way out in front. He's gone 7 lengths clear of the unnamed runner, travelling by himself back in second, and then 4 lengths back, further back in the field to the remaining trio, which is all of the Warden, Born to Win, and Dream Ma is the last one. 300 metres left to go, and pretty much Superb Winner in a trial of his own out in front. He's shot 10 lengths clear of the unnamed runner by Vespa back in second. Doing some good work later is the Warden, who switches back to the inside in third. The rest of the field outpaced here. This is probably the biggest barrier trial win we have seen in a very long time. A Superb Winner is going to win by what I would say 15 lengths at the end, and is a commanding winner. Second place now, the unnamed runner from back in third, the Warden. Then came Dream Ma, and Born to Win was last across the line, and was probably close to 30 lengths behind the winner, who was Superb Winner. Certainly running to his name, Superb Winner, is the best description of how he's put the rest of this field to bed here in the 4th and final trial. And haven't seen a win this big in the barrier trials in the sand track for quite a long time. I said 15 lengths, it could even be close to 20 lengths at the end. So Superb Winner from the from the Mahadi stable, run by Joe Cameroon, trialled with the blinkers on today, and certainly does the job. And as mentioned, he has won in quite a commanding fashion. Second place was the unnamed runner by Vespa and Fitri, taking the ride. The stable companion back in second. Third place went the way of the Warden. It was ridden by Jordan Mallion for the Hampshire Aloysius stable. Dream Ma back in fourth, and Born to Win was back in fifth. So just to repeat the numbers, the unnamed runner was back in second, Superb Winner the winner. Third place went the way of the Warden. Fourth place Dream Ma, and Born to Win was back in fifth. That completes our barrier trials this morning. 4 trials completed here at the Selindor Turf Club. And as mentioned, there is no racing this weekend locally in KL. There's racing at the Perak Turf Club on Sunday, but we'll be back here at the Selindor Turf Club next weekend for a double header of racing on Saturday and Sunday. So until then, farewell, wishing you a great week ahead. And this is Devon Pretorius signing off from the Selindor Turf Club for our barrier trials this Tuesday, the 27th of January.